guys won't stop talking.
And you can pretty much do it
Felger and Mazz.
in perpetuity.
Yep.
The Sports Hub.
Randy in Merrimack, who'd we miss?
I wanted to ask Mazz about Dwight Gooden.
Good one.
I think it's a good one.
It is a good one. In fact, I had him on the list of people to choose from. I left him off.
He was on the cover of Time magazine.
Yeah. And again, for that matter, you could put Darryl Strawberry right there with him. They kind of went hand in hand, and they were American darlings for a long time.
And let me just, again, the one ground rule is if you call up with someone we've already discussed, you are banned for life from the program. Okay?
Right.
Kevin has his pen. We have, it's like wanted posters back there. We have your name and your contact information, and you will be banned for life.
And no parole.
If you call with no chance of reinstatement, like Pete Rose, until, of course, Donald let him back in. But no chance for reinstatement for you. You're banned for life. If you have not heard the segment, just continue to listen. There's no need to call if you haven't heard the segment.
Correct.
Just listen. Nick on the South Shore, give us one.
Yeah, how about Kurt Schilling?
Yes.
Like, not even just the, him being a scumbag and costing the state of Rhode Island hundreds of millions of dollars, but also, like, the Breitbart stuff and then blowing the job at ESPN.
So, tier 3, because most of you don't like him for his politics, which is not a fall from grace. It's just pissy politics. That doesn't, but be that as it may, he is sort of has, and the Rhode Island thing's big, and I think he's just sort of been exposed as, fill in the blank. There's been a tier 3 fall from grace there.
He should be a hero in this town. He should be. And he should be recognized and remembered primarily for being one of the great big game pitchers in the history of the sport. And a lot of that's gone.
And it's just gone because of him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's someone who was like that for a time in Tim Thomas. Tim Thomas had some of those same things, but if you've watched him when he's returned and done some public appearances and done some things with the team, it feels like that's been forgotten or he's smoothed it over. He's shown...
He doesn't really talk when he's been back ever since that whole thing.
No, and he's kind of... And when I said the whole thing, I mean, he just got into a beef with the team, and he's kind of out there himself, and he had some odd political views and all of that. But... Like, I think he sort of, it's hard to explain. He's been more contrite, more human.
He piped down is really what it is.
And he just sort of, let it go. Schilling doesn't let it go.
No.
It's just everything is World War III with the guy. And so he just sort of made it all worse. And so he has had that fall from grace.
I applauded because I knew he would come up today. And it's a good name to bring up.
Zach and Leominster, who'd we miss?
What's going on, guys? Thanks for taking my call. I just wanted to chime in on Antonio Brown with the asterisk that there could be, the mental health and the brain injuries that he suffered as a professional player. But I do think that there's a tremendous fall from grace when you go from on a trajectory to be one of the all-time receivers and a Super Bowl winner.
I got it. Was he ever put on a pedestal?
I mean, for NFL fans, he was a household name.
Did Terrell Owens have a fall from grace?
No, I know what you mean.
You know what I mean? Like, was he? I'd have to go back and think about how he was viewed when he came in or early in his career. But
no, there's a difference between being a guy who was a good player and being someone who became like an American or an international icon on some level.
Or if someone was always sort of considered a loose cannon or sort of a questionable guy, and he just got questionable, that's not a fall from grace. He was always sort of that. I would have to go back and sort of mine what Antonio Brown's reputation. I mean, he was a lower round pick, wasn't he?
Yeah, it's like a 6th rounder, I think.
And my guess was it was for a reason. He had talent. I mean, I don't know. So again, I'm sort of asking on Antonio Brown. I'm not sure if he qualifies. John in the car. What do we got? I said John in the car. Okay, you can call us back. Phil and Dedham. Go ahead, Phil.
Yeah, I got two quick ones. Boxer Tommy Morrison and Jerry Remy.
Jerry Remy, do we blame him for the kid?
No, I don't put Remy on this list.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, you can question his parenting. I mean, but I don't know. No, I don't put him on the list.
Tommy Morrison was always looked at as a tomato can.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, what sort of pedestal was Tommy Morrison ever on?
Yeah, we're not necessarily looking for I don't know
The
whether
tiers aren't losers.
Yeah, right.
That'll be next week. Kevin in the car. Go ahead, Kevin.
Yo, I got a 2-pack of dirt bags for you. Jerry Sandusky and Joe Paterno. Love the show.
Okay.
Oh, Paterno
I'll
for
give you.
sure. Yeah.
They topple the statue.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's a fall from grace.
Yes. Paterno, I'll give you.
Sandusky, other than Penn State fans, didn't even really know who the guy was.
Correct.
Paterno, who covered it up and let it happen. Joe Paterno, good one.
Which brings me to like Rick Pitino crossed my mind.
Yeah, he's come back, but
He's come back.
he's totally come back, and people sort of don't even mention it. But they locked the door of the restaurant.
I mean, that's pretty bad.
Kyle in Gloucester, go ahead, Kyle.
Johnny Manziel.
Did he get to that height? I mean,
Was he ever on a pedestal?
I mean, he became a real household name after that game against Alabama, and he becomes this top prospect. But that was like
He was always a putz.
yeah, that was like the zenith of the whole thing.
Does it surprise you that he had a drug problem or anything
No.
like that? I mean,
No.
at the end of the day, when stuff like that came out, wouldn't you actually really say just the opposite? Oh, that makes total sense. He didn't fall from grace.
No.
He was never in grace.
And in fact, there are a million players like him who like came out of college and were, Todd Marinovich. You could start talking to guys like that. Yeah.
Bob in Worcester. Hi, Bob.
Hey, what's up, guys? Long time, first time. I got one name and one name only. It's Bruce Jenner. You're welcome.
Oh,
Okay, so what is she?
they.
What have they done wrong?
You got me. There's no crime there or anything, is there?
No.
I mean,
No, I mean, I'm not.
yeah, no.
You know what I mean.
So he became a woman.
Right. Like that is just a life choice, but I don't think there was ever anything
I got to.
out of the athletic arena or
I'm not online. I'm not in the reality world. So I don't even really.
Oh, wait a minute, though.
I just vaguely know Bruce Jenner is now a woman, but that's all I know.
I think she might have ran over people.
No.
Yeah.
Well, that's bad.
Yeah.
Really?
That'll put him on the list. Them.
Hold on.
Yeah. I don't remember.
I don't know what to call her.
No,
Sorry.
me neither.
Fatal car wreck allegedly caused by the former Olympic gold medal winner. I forgot. Yeah, there was a whole lawsuit about this, and then I remember it was parodied by South Park,
So was
where
it
she just kept running people over and killing them.
like it was a habit?
Yeah.
Oh, well, okay. Well, then that puts them on the list. Matt in Danvers, go ahead, Matt.
Hey, what about Michael Jordan and or Bob Kraft?
Does a HJ get you? Is that enough?
I mean,
Or taken for the keys?
Oh, well, then Deshaun Watson should be on there.
Deshaun Watson, yes.
Watson.
Deshaun Watson, yes.
Justin Tucker.
Justin Tucker, that
Yes,
creep.
yeah.
Yes, those guys. Yes. Kraft, no. Who's in?
Jordan. What was
Michael Jordan.
Well,
gambling?
yeah.
Was there anything else?
I mean, I think there was with Jordan, but it's not been widely reported. It's people still think he just wanted to play baseball.
And was his father randomly murdered?
Well, right.
Listen, I don't think people believe it enough on Jordan to say there was a fall from grace. There's no body cam footage of Jordan like we have on Tiger Woods now and guys like this. There's been no press conferences where, well, whatever. Yes, Mazz?
Oh, no. I know one that I meant to put on the list and forgot. Now that I'll see if it comes up.
Okay. How about Jason in Taunton? Yes, Jason.
Yeah, guys, what about this 2-for-1 special? Mark McGuire and Sammy Sosa.
Sure.
Yeah, you can give them that. Again, I would put them down in the steroid category with Clemens and Bonds and Alex Rodriguez, like the game's megastars. But yeah, definitely. Same class.
Ricky in Plymouth, give us another one.
Last pitcher to win 30 games, Denny McClain.
Old school, gambling.
Yep.
Right?
Yep, he won. I think he's the last guy to win 30 games.
As he just said, yeah.
Oh, he did say that?
He said that, yes.
31, I think it was, that he won. Yeah, that's a good one. At that time, it was a...
And then he was suspended for a year.
Correct.
If you wanted that era, it was Paul Horning, it was Alex Karras.
Yep.
Len Dawson, I want to say.
That sounds right.
Right? Didn't he have a gambling thing? So, yeah, there was a little era there.
Did you go to prison for that? Am I thinking of someone else? Denny McClain.
Was Alex Karras?
So I think
Did I just
somebody
say
in
that?
that group went to prison. Yeah, I don't...
There was a little bit of a gambling thing there in the NFL in the late 60s, early 70s.
It was before my time.
Oh, my God. Yeah, he did a lot of time.
Who's that?
Denny McClain.
Oh, yeah?
Served 2 separate federal prison terms for racketeering, drug trafficking, embezzlement.
Boy.
Wow.
Okay, well, that's
He qualifies.
the next level. Put him on the list. Kevin in Plymouth, yes?
Hey, guys. Mickey Mantle. Thanks.
Oh, he was just like a fun drunk, though.
Alcoholism.
I'm sure it wasn't all that fun if you were close with him, but
I don't know that he ever had anything. I mean, look,
Scandal?
Well, it was a different age, right? There were no cell phones,
no body cams.
right?
then.
Exactly.
Chasing skirts, showing up drunk. That was just part of being a Yankee back then.
Yeah, right. So it's a reasonable guess to think there was some other stuff going on.
Down in West Springfield.
Yeah, guys, how about Antoine Walker, the Celtics, who dribbled away all his finances?
Sure. I would just say, was he ever in grace? Was he ever put on a
I don't
pedestal?
think he was a big enough name.
Yeah, not quite big enough.
So there's got to be a fall. You got to be on some sort of perch to fall. I don't know if he ever got high enough to say there was a fall from grace. He was a troubled ball player, which can be
We're
another.
missing the whole point of everything that's going on.
Sorry, Rick.
I've been blackmailed 7 months ago.
You want me to give you that name now?
Yeah.
Ray Lewis.
Oh, well, yeah.
Obvious one.
Yeah.
Good
Ray
one.
Lewis. Ray Lewis, I forgot. I had him down. and I
But
forgot.
did he really fall?
I would
He fell
say-
for like a half a day, it felt like.
Well, it was quick.
And I would
wasn't it?
also say, like, it didn't hurt his reputation. I mean, it dented his. It didn't hurt him from getting jobs and still
Madden covers.
How
And
much evil, which we call it crime. Watch how much crime picks up
still
if you take away our game.
Sorry, Ray. He's still the face of the franchise. He's
true.
still ESPN. Like, how far did he really fall? And then I would also say, I guess the headline was shocking, but was it really? A tough guy. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
a crazy tough guy. Like, I don't know.
I think.
Yes.
I mean, he
Sorry.
didn't.
I'm
he,
sorry, what was that, Ray?
Yes.
Thank you.
he didn't lose what a lot of other people lost, but I think he lost something. Maybe not a lot, but he lost something.
So, but, crazy, tough-ass linebacker.
Yep.
May have stabbed someone.
Watch how much crime picks up.
It's like, kind of, I don't know. On one level, kind of made a certain amount of sense. You know what I mean?
Of course,
so
it's a violent game.
it's not like Robin Yount. And I just picked that guy. I'm just trying to think of
Cal Ripken.
like, a squeaky clean. Tiger Woods was considered, immaculate, like the perfect, untouchable star, icon, that guy. And what he did in hindsight next to these stuff isn't really all that. He cheated on his wife and has a drug problem. I mean, really, at the end of the day, that's it, which, kind of common.
well, to use a football comp.
But he was on such a pedestal, we're talking about falls. Go
if
ahead.
Bill Romanowski did what Ray Lewis did, would anyone be surprised?
No.
Right. Or Dick Butkus, or you name it. Right? Anyway.
Jack Lambert.
We continue with this
If you
conversation.
tell the truth, your problem becomes part of your
Thank you,
past.
Rick.
If you lie, it becomes part of your future.
So I apologize for that indiscretion.
I want to apologize to you as professionals.
For that indiscretion 6 years ago.
6 years
I
ago.
want to tell my extended family, which is all my players, that I'm sorry for that indiscretion 6 years ago.
6 years ago. Back with your thoughts right after this.
Yes.
Sean and Lawrence. Go, Sean.
You keep saying, like, I didn't actually watch the game, whether it's Patriots, Celtics, Bruins, whatever. Like, isn't your job as a talk show host to actually watch sports?
So I would say my job is to get you to listen.
That is the job.
Mission accomplished.
Take this job and shove. Felger and Mazz. 98.5, the Sports Hub.
If I had to guess, I know that the issue with Verdugo and him getting benched was him being late. And he hates that. So that would be my first guess as to why this happened. But, I mean, the Red Sox YouTube channel did a special presentation on Narvaez's pregame routine. He's very routine-oriented, and it's almost like he doesn't come off as like, oh, that's a guy that, like, strolls in late. He seems super prepared. We interviewed him in the dugout last summer, and he walked us through his entire routine, like what time he gets it. Like, he just seems like a very put together guy. So it doesn't make sense to me because, in the case of Verdugo, sure, he got benched for being late. That was probably like the 9th or 10th time. Like, Cora probably gave him every opportunity to be like, hey, stop showing up late. Stop showing up late. And he keeps doing it. Then you get benched for it to send the message. We're 6 games into the season. It just, I don't know. It doesn't, it would make sense if that was it, but with that guy in particular, it doesn't fit. Like in terms of the work ethic and the routine.
And who he is.
Yeah.
We played to the Kravis cut earlier where he said there was perhaps a lack of professionalism in spring training in the clubhouse. At least one other guy, not Narvaez. So something's up there. And I just think, so Cora's telling them to screw their heads on straight. Who's telling him that? Because not exactly dialed in when you can't count balls and strikes.
Good question.
In the middle of a big game. So I think that goes all the way around on that one.
There's plenty of blame to issue right now.
So they're already feeling it. They should. I mean, are they feeling it? I don't know. Cora at least is feeling it. Is the team feeling it? There was some interesting commentary during the game yesterday while we were on the air. Lou Merlone and Dave O'Brien on Nesson about how, well, just them reacting to this slow start. Why don't you give me Merlone number 1 if you could, Jimmy Stewart?
Yeah, I don't care how many years you've played in this league. You've seen teammates. Maybe you've gone through it. Maybe what Durbin's going through now, what Wilson went through last year. And even though you still tell yourself if it was July, this would be no big deal. It's overreaction week. We know that in the first week of the season. After the All-Star break's very similar. It's like, oh, he's come out cold in the second half. It was the first 4 games he didn't get a hit. And you've played this game forever, and you know that. But it doesn't mean it doesn't still affect you. It's amazing how much pressure you put on yourself after a couple games where you don't feel right. You don't sleep well. I don't think anybody slept well last night.
Nobody. As Abreu gets in 0 for 2. Nobody connected with the Red Sox organization.
I was in my bed last night at 2:15 just staring at the walls. Like I played. Like, I'm sitting going, what am I doing?
Like you went 0 for 4.
I'm not 1 for 18 right now. Like, why? I was just, couldn't get to bed.
So true, man. Up and away, and Vasquez would like to hand deliver this baseball. It's amazing how that's true.
I mean, this start is nothing what anybody wanted. And I know fans back home, I'm sure, and they're not happy with the start. Similar to last year, and it's a lot of people, maybe had some questions about the roster, the team, who they're going to be. If you questioned it, and you had a pretty good week. You were right. Congratulations so far for the first 5 games. But I've seen it before. This team was 40-43 on June 25th. They won 87 games, like 40-43.
Yeah, actually 189.
89 rather. 3 games under end of June.
Okay. I just want to react to that because it was I thought it was interesting commentary. Everyone's sort of staring at the ceiling. And then what happened the next morning with Narvaez getting benched essentially. Maybe they weren't all in their hotel room staring at the ceiling. Who knows? Some of them were. But the point about being it's overreaction week. Yes, of course. And frankly, I've said this before, as a talk show host, I love overreaction week. It's one of my favorite weeks of the baseball season, on high or low. That first off day after the season opener is just a blast. We just spend 2 days just jumping to conclusions and overreacting to one game. I as a talk show host, I like overreaction week. But Lou says last year they were still 3 games under 500 on June 25th, and they won 89 games. And if you're asking me, can they do the exact same thing this year? Yeah.
Sure.
Yes, I'm not writing them off at all to be that. Can they rebound from 1-5? Can they rebound from a bad opening month or 2? Could they be 3 games under 500 this year on June 25th and win 89 games and qualify as a wild card? Yes. I think they can still do that. I seriously doubt they can be anything more. And that's sort of where I'm stuck. The whole idea, Mazz, is to improve on what you established last year.
Correct.
And they haven't in any sense. They haven't on the roster, which is where it starts. They haven't in how they play. They're playing the exact same way as they did to start last year, as they've started a lot of these years. Errors, strikeouts, unfocused play. Losing record. It's the exact same thing. So could they do the exact same thing as last year? Rebound, qualify for the postseason? Yeah. But that's it. And so you haven't moved the needle. You haven't gone forward at all. That in and of itself, Mazz, is a fail. Just doing what they did last year is a fail.
Yeah, you should be expecting more than that. And you have every right to. But the thing is, and this is part of the real dilemma with the Red Sox now over the longer term. This is where they want to stay. Organizationally, they like that 87, 88 win area. Gets us in. We get your money. And then we get bounced, or we're trying to get hot and make some noise. But are we as good as the real iron in baseball? No. And when you have their resources, that's maddening. I mean, I don't know as a fan how you can accept that when you know they're capable of more. So a year ago, again, not to keep going back to this, but they had Bregman and Devers side by side in the lineup when they came out of spring training. Anthony then came up. You could have Devers, Bregman, Anthony in the middle of your lineup, and we would all feel differently about them.
And there was a time not too long ago they would have. There's a time not too long ago. That's how they managed their payroll, and that would have been the middle of your order.
And they wiped out two of them because they don't want to pay him anymore. The whole thing of Bregman wanted to leave is a really bad look for them, too. We all know that. If Bregman wanted to be here, he'd be here. Well, if you wanted to keep him here, you would have acted differently. You would have kept him here. So they're okay being 87, 88. They're okay being a B franchise.
Here's the very latest in the world of sports with Murray, and then we're back with your phones.
Felger.
Shush.
Mazz. The Sports Hub.
Larry's in Andover on the Red Sox. Go ahead, Larry.
Yeah, one thing I appreciate about you guys, it gives us a chance to rant and rave, and you guys are our cheerleaders. Hey, I got two suggestions. Bear with me. The first suggestion is let's take Nate Eaton out of Worcester, bring him up, and send Durbin not back to Worcester. Send him back to the Brewers free. You can have him. No gratis, anything. The second suggestion is somebody brought up the idea of another trade. Do not let Breslow make any more trades, and we might have a chance to have a decent season.
I don't like either of those things happening, but I did predict coming into the year that Durbin wouldn't make it to Memorial Day. So I might have overshot that even. But, is Nate Eaton
No.
Is that going to solve the problem?
No, their problems are way bigger than that. No.
They need their good players to put the bat on the ball.
Yeah. Yeah, and to your point, it's like some of their problems are really not fixable because you're not going to – there's not another Roman Anthony in AAA that you're waiting to bring up here to hit 30 home runs for you. They're kind of porked.
Danny in the car on the Sox. Go ahead, Danny.
While Tony's starting to get me infuriated, I think my bigger concern about winning maybe 88 or 90 and squeaking in, the issue is that Baltimore got better, Toronto got better, and the Yankees now have – another star pitcher back. And so my concern is while John Henry is on his super yacht, the Elysian or whatever, lining his pockets, we're going to go spend the money at Fenway and we're going to get you-know-what, and we're not going to be in October baseball.
This is another good point. Could they straighten out like they did last year? Could they rebound from a bad start, being under 500 at the end of June, and win 89 games? Yep. 89 games doesn't always get you in.
No.
What did you just tell me about the Yankees off the air?
They've given up 6 runs all year. 6 runs. I was looking some of this up this morning. Max Fried and Cam Schlittler, who shoved it up your backside in the playoffs last year.
Schlittler.
Yes, exactly right. They are a combined 4-0 with a 0.00 ERA. Early here in the season, 25 strikeouts combined between the two of them in 4 starts. They have dominated. And the Yankees don't even have Garrett Cole back. They don't have Rodon in there. So it's those two guys. And they're mowing people. They're not hitting either, but they're winning. Right? And they're winning because they can pitch. You're supposed to be able to pitch, and you're not even doing that. You're 1-5. The Red Sox, again, the Yankees give up 6 runs all year so far. It's like the fewest in, something like 89 years or something like that. The Red Sox gave up 6 or more in every game of the Astros series.
Scott and Canton, 2 questions.
Number one, what do you think is going to happen to the Red Sox during the home opener tomorrow? And number two, would you like to see Andrew Benintendi come back to the Red Sox?
Okay. Number two, no.
Me, I'm also a no. And on the first one, they're going to get their asses kicked.
Who's pitching?
I don't even know. I mean, I'm Joe. It's Sonny Gray, I think.
Okay, no, for them. I'm talking about
it's
for the Padres.
Yeah, it's the. I don't know who's pitching for San Diego.
Padres are a good club. I mean,
they are good.
I don't know what kind of start they're off to, but
bad. But they have they got a good roster. They're 2-4.
What's going to happen tomorrow? Is anyone going to get booed?
Oh yeah.
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 Who's going to get booed?
Well, Durbin will get booed.
Are we booing Durbin, or who are we booing when we do that?
We're really booing the front office.
Aren't we booing the front office for trading or letting go of Alex Bregman?
Yes. Yep, absolutely.
That poor kid's going to get it tomorrow then.
Yep, big time. Ranger Suarez, I wouldn't rule out getting hooted on a little. That'll be lukewarm.
Does the crowd boo anymore?
Not really.
Not opening day. That's going to be like, the olds and the children, dignitaries.
Back in the good old days, we were the fellowship of the miserable. Who did we boo? On the Red Sox side. I'm not talking about like Mo Rivera.
Yeah, Mike Grimo got booed one year, I think.
Did he?
Yeah, he had a tendency to talk, so the fans got on his ass pretty good. By the way, Michael King is scheduled to pitch, I believe, for the Padres tomorrow, so they're definitely going to lose. The Red Sox.
He's good.
He's excellent.
Really?
Yeah, terrific. Yeah. He is. He's good. I'm not kidding. They got him from the Yankees. That was in the Juan Soto deal, I think it was. So, no, King's good. Yeah, that feels like a 33-inch Louisville Slugger going right up your nostril.
Against a guy who's here only because you had another mid-market team pick up his salary. That's what's gross about Sonny Gray. He's here only because the Cardinals picked up his salary. He wouldn't be here otherwise. So you can boo him, but I know what you're really doing. You're booing John Henry on that one. You're booing Craig Breslow on that one. So we'll see what I'm just curious if Red Sox fans, they do here, we get it here, because we're Felger and Mazz, and, as one of the previous callers said, we're here for you if you want to bitch and moan. Like, this is where you come and do it. Do they still do it at Fenway Park?
Yeah, and I admit, usually not on opening day because it's a foofy crowd on top of it all. But, you could get a little of it. 1 in 5 is pretty bad. It'll be going to be some angry people there tomorrow who'll be nice and lubed up.
Let's hope. The additions to Mazz's tiers continue. Phil in the car. Who did we miss? Falls from grace.
Hey, I got a tier 3 for you. Adrian Peterson after beating his kid with a stick.
Decent.
Yeah, not bad.
That qualifies.
Yeah, that's another one. That's a good one, actually.
Cody in the car. What's your suggestion?
Hey, what about Josh Hamilton?
Refresh my memory.
The old Texas Ranger player.
Texas Rangers.
What did he do?
His was mostly substance abuse, right? Did he have any domestic issues or anything?
Yeah, but didn't he come into the league?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
As having problems?
Yeah.
So he didn't fall from grace.
I think there was a relapse, if I recall. I don't know if he was a big enough name.
He was the number 1 overall pick in the draft by the Reds before he went to the Rangers and had that great MVP year.
Right. But didn't he come into the league with
he had
problems?
Yeah, in fact, his career sort of got derailed, and then he cleaned up, came in, played great, and then I think had a relapse.
He didn't fall from grace. He would never had grace.
Yeah, I don't think he was I don't know if he really qualifies.
Greg in Rochester, in addition to Mazz's tiers, please.
What about Jimmy Craig?
So, did he do anything off the ice, or was he just not? Did he just make the pros and not pan out?
Well, he got arrested for DUIs, and I think there was even someone who passed away during that.
Okay, so I'm not familiar with that.
Yeah, me neither. I didn't know that story either.
Who is this? Refresh me.
Jim Craig, the goalie for USA 1980.
Oh, okay.
1980 goalie. Yeah.
He never, after the gold medal, he never really got traction in the NHL.
Well, I don't you remember Atlanta Flames? I remember that. I think it was a Sports Illustrated cover, if I'm not mistaken. Jim Craig. That's little Mikey Felger in Milwaukee. Back in the day, before you could just go to Amazon and get it in like 10 minutes. Within a couple of weeks, I had the number 30 Team USA jersey that I wore. I was a little goalie in youth hockey. I had the Jim Craig number 30 USA jersey that I wore for the next couple of years anyway in net for youth hockey in Milwaukee.
It was a good one to get at that time.
Story time. I was playing a charity game then, this was like 10 years ago or so, against NHL players and I made a save on somebody, and someone skated by and tapped my pads and said, "Good job there, Felger." And it was Jim Craig.
Oh, really?
And I just about melted there. I was almost in tears there in that moment on the ice. I don't know about any of the off-ice stuff. So, but anyway.
Well, he's now a friend of the show.
Okay. Well, anyway, how about Jake in Taunton? Yes, Jake.
Hey, two more to answer you guys. Urban Meyer and Donald Sterling.
Okay, Donald Sterling, I'd have to say, did he ever have grace in the first place?
Exactly right.
No.
Forget him.
Was he always considered a dope? And who was the first guy there?
Urban Meyer's a good one.
Urban Meyer. Sure.
Yeah, highly accomplished college coach, right?
Yes.
I mean, after that whole thing in the bar with the woman and then the failure.
So I'd put him on par with Bill Belichick.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, there's a Bill Belichick tier of fall from grace. He didn't commit any crime, but you were just kind of exposed personally, professionally, and people look at you differently now.
Absolutely.
So that's like a tier 4 kind of thing. Jake in Leominster. Go ahead, Jake.
Hi, thanks for taking my call. I actually have two. I thought of another one while I was on hold. The first one was Wander Franco, and the second one was Trevor Bauer.
So Bauer, yeah, he had the abuse thing, right? That he was.
Oh, right, that's right.
But he was cleared of it, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I think he was. I never really followed up on that at the end.
Who was the guy that broke his hand playing with the Millennium Falcon?
It's him.
Okay.
That's him.
To me, that's the fall from grace. He couldn't make a start in the World Series because he was playing with his Star Wars toy.
The Millennium Falcon.
Okay,
drone, yeah.
That to me is first class ass clown. I mean, that guy. Never mind if he did what he was accused of doing, then obviously different tier. Who's the other guy that
Wander
said?
Franco.
The prospect for the Rays that was like they signed to that massive contract. Do you remember him?
Was it a murder charge?
No, it was
abuse.
What would you call it, Murray?
Pedo.
Sexual. Yeah, I mean he was having a relationship with a 14-year-old girl.
Okay,
and didn't the girl's mother know it and
something? Yeah.
So but again, was he
some
ever,
crazy?
I don't know if he's a big enough name.
Was he ever put on a pedestal?
No.
Well, I would say at one time he was like the next hot thing in baseball. He was akin to I don't know, I'd have to think of a prospect in the game. When he first started playing, he was like
Juan Soto, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. As a rookie, I mean, he was that kind of stud, and they gave him this massive contract, and then he had these 8, and he's just disappeared. He doesn't play for them anymore.
We continue with your thoughts on this. The Red Sox, I have a Patriots thought for you based off of something Bedard said to me last night on TV, which kind of had me spitting out my coffee. And I wasn't drinking any, as Portnoy would say. That's coming off the top of the hour. Your calls in our long commercial-free segment next.
Mike and Tony have a definite chemistry.
Are they? 100%.
Are they?
Yes, 100. Do I stutter?
Do you consider them the periodic table of sports talk?
Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Sorry. We need to blow a gasket.
No. Blow it, baby. Blow it.
Felger and Mazz.
And it's a pattern you hate to see repeated.
Yeah.
You know, that's what's driving people nuts, too.
Well, it's extra innings on the road, defensive miscues, strikeouts piling up. If it was something different than what we saw last year, you'd say, okay, it's just a different year, but it's like rinse and repeat. Yeah, you mentioned that weird play last night. We didn't even catch it. Strike 2 on the swing and miss on the stolen base.
Right.
Double error, another run scored. And to be honest with you, we're sitting there trying to figure out what we're watching, what's going on right now. We missed the fact that
so much
strike
happened.
3. But
Nobody saw it, by the way.
How does Bayo and the catcher miss it, though?
That part is a little troubling. Or, somebody on the bench.
Well, I get it, but I gotta be honest with you, they're probably thinking the same thing. Like, what's going on? But if I'm a hitter and I got ball 4 and the umpire says 3, I'm like, no. That's 4.
Wong and Bayo aren't stepping off the field? They didn't throw down to third? I think there were 2 outs. Not that you would throw it around the diamond, but you know what I'm saying. They're just, I'm not going to say anything. So I understand the batter not saying anything. To me, Mazz, the story remains the totality,
of course,
of the Red Sox uniformed personnel. Not one person knew what was going on. And not only that, I don't think they knew until well after the game. Cora was asked about it 20 minutes after the game and still didn't know. So that is the definition of out to lunch, underlined in bold. And that, to me, is the concerning thing.
Yeah, big time. Look, I agree with Lou. I also feel like the pitcher and catcher got to be in tune there.
Oh, my God.
Like, that one's bad. That's the first place you look on the field. Again, and I would put the manager and the pitching coach right there. The manager is supposed to be dialed in to every pitch. And just quickly, because he said, it's the same problems it was a year ago. Well, that brings you back to the personnel, and not to say I told you so, but when the strikeout thing came up last year, shorten up on the bat, do this, do that, and you can do those things. It got a little bit better, but Trevor Story's going to strike out a lot. Contreras is going to strike out a lot. Those guys, so it comes back to what you were saying earlier.
How they were built?
It's roster construction. You built your lineup with a bunch of guys who strike out.
Well, and you instructed them, the young guys, through the system using drive line, launch angle, and put the ball in the air.
Bingo.
So what do you expect them to do now? Get here and choke up on the bat? They
Right.
haven't been trained to do that.
Right. So you built a team with a bunch of guys who can't make contact. Now they go out and strike out. And what did you expect?
We continue with your thoughts on that. And, of course, Mazz's Tears, which always gets incredible response. And this continues. Falls from Grace. How about Ian in New Hampshire? Ian, who'd we miss?
I want to jump into the world of professional wrestling with this one, but what about Chris Benoit?
I have no knowledge of this story. Jimmy Stewart, this is obviously your department.
This is a wrestler who murdered his family. So, yes, that would be a big fall from grace. He went from winning the world title at WrestleMania to murdering his family, all within the course of a few years.
That would be tier 1 if we were going to add wrestlers. Yeah.
Hulk Hogan would be in the conversation as well.
So, you know who someone said me?
Not that, well, go ahead. I don't want to minimize what those guys did, especially the first one. But isn't the whole wrestling world set up to fall from heel turns and falls from grace and all this sort of stuff?
Yeah, for the most part.
But go ahead.
No, the one someone sent me is Vince McMahon.
Good one.
Oh, yeah, that's
so
good.
I'm not I was a wrestling fan when I was a kid, but I know who Vince McMahon is, and I know what his demise was.
I just don't know these stories. Karen in New Hampshire, go ahead, Karen.
Off-air show one day.
Karen,
in Providence.
Hi,
Karen in Providence.
Okay, Karen in Providence, go ahead.
The Celtics coach that they fired, that Ime Udoka.
Yeah, tier 6.
He's just fine. He's now the head coach of the...
Okay, but I see what she's saying.
It took a hit here.
He took a little bit of a hit. Yeah, he's landed on his feet fine, but that's kind of on a much bigger scale what we've been talking about.
Yeah, there was a question there for a little while how soon he would be hired, and he was. Good for him.
Ryan in Shrewsbury, who'd we miss?
Hey, guys, I was thinking about Conor McGregor.
Conor McGregor, not bad.
Yeah, what happened with McGregor? It's hard to keep all these straight.
Abuse and assaults, things of this nature. And he got, knocked off his perch, literally. So, sort of on the mat, off the mat. Yeah, Conor McGregor a little bit. People
not bad.
Look at him differently. Steven Fitchburg. Yes, Steve?
Carey Price.
So you really got to know his story. Was that kid out of wedlock? What was it?
Montreal goaltender.
I know who that is, but what did he do?
I'm not quite sure.
Okay, well, we got to know.
Substance abuse issues more than anything else.
It was a range of stuff. So I just don't know.
I don't think a big enough name either.
And if you're calling him Montreal Sports Radio, maybe. Carey Price, yes. He had some issues. John in Vermont, what'd we miss?
Yeah, hey, I got two. First one, Bob Hayes, wide receiver for the Cowboys back in the 60s.
What did he do?
He became famous as a sprinter. He was billed the world's fastest human.
I know, Bullet Bob Hayes. What did he do?
Yeah, eventually, he was Delma Huddle in the movie North Dallas 40, but he eventually got busted for cocaine trafficking.
Oh, big deal.
Oh, big whoop. A lot of
well,
guys.
Trafficking. Okay, listen.
Yeah, it's a little. Yeah, but
I'm sorry. I missed the trafficking part the first time that he said it. But
was he ever Cal Ripken? You know what I mean? Like the guy on the billboard selling milk.
How about Tony in Gloucester? Yes, Tony.
Yes, I have three names: Jennifer Capriati, tennis player.
Yep.
Also, Delonte West and Chris Herron.
Okay, was Chris Herron ever on a pedestal?
Not really, no.
Was Delonte West ever on a pedestal?
No, definitely not.
Capriati, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, she was like the golden child of tennis, the kid phenom, and like
rebelled,
turned dark overnight.
Yeah, big time. Didn't she like steal clothing and?
I can't remember all the details.
Yeah, she had a drug issue too. And
yes,
I think.
No, Jennifer Capriati qualifies.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
Down in Maine, go.
Oh, Sean.
No,
Sean in Maine.
Oh, Sean, yeah, go.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. A couple real quick. Danny Almonte and Denny McLean.
Okay, Denny McClain, you're banned for life.
Get out.
Banned for life.
Yep, you're out. One less person from Maine to worry about.
Yep. Lifetime ban for Don from Maine. So the little leaguer was really 16 years old and he never panned out. Is that?
No, that doesn't make that.
No, it was a fall from grace. He grew up.
Yeah, but he also didn't he fake his birth certificate?
Yeah, he was like 19 playing in the Little League.
You tell me, you think those kids in the Little League World Series are really 13? Any of them? Have you seen some of these guys? They're big as horses. Yeah. These kids aren't 13.
No, I would say the person that fell from grace in that one is the guy who signed him up for Little League. That's the person who fell from grace.
So listen, I would tell you we're done, but we're not. We'll take your calls today on this. Tomorrow we've instituted another rule. The Mazz's tiers suggestions end after day one. We don't spill them.
That's right. No Friday suggestions on Mazz's tiers.
So we'll still take your calls on this. I'm not going to ban you. The Don from Maine is out. He's banned for life. You can't call with someone we've discussed. If you didn't hear the original segment or have been listening subsequently, just continue to listen. Don't call in with yours.
I think it was actually Sean from me, but I bet you he tries to pass off as Don the next time he calls.
His comment line did say Don, so maybe he has some wiggle room there to get past the
what if I change my name?
The authorities packed behind the glass. Greg Bedard with a Patriots plan of attack that I think is just not going to fly. You'll hear it right after Big Jim Murray gets you updated. 90 seconds, no commercials.